Okay, everyone, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this class is very important in regards that he has explained in brief the biography, the background of the play, and the other things as well, the themes. That means the male-dominated patriarchal society, what happens, and he is a. So, what I will tell, that means the thing I wanted to show, these are the same that I wanted to show you. Okay, Vijoy Tendulkar's full name is Vijoy Dhantopant. Dhantopant or Dhantopant? Dhantopant Tendulkar. Okay, and we have got the idea in details. Okay, he is a leading Indian playwright, movie and television writer, literary essayist, political journalist, and social commentator, primarily in Marathi language playwright. And he is best known for his plays, that is Santata Kot Chalu Ahe, and this was written in 1967. The English translation of this drama, that means silence, the code is in session. And another was Shakaram Bidlar, that was written in 1971. Ghashiram Kotwal, Ghashiram the Constable. These are the notable dramas written by Vijoy Tendulkar. And many of Tendulkar plays derived inspiration from the real life incidents and the social upheaval, which provides clear light on harsh realities. As we have watched in the movie, that means most of the Tendulkar's dramas are based on the real life, reality of the life. And he has provided guidance to students studying playwriting in US universities. And Tendulkar had been a highly influential dramatist and theater personality in Maharashtra for 5 decades. And he was born in Mumbai, Maharashtra. His father was had been doing a clerical job. However, we have also understood that in Vijoy Tendulkar house, there was a literary environment, and that promoted Vijoy Tendulkar to write plays. He grew up watching Western plays and felt inspired to write plays himself. After watching many Western plays, Tendulkar wanted to write plays. And at age 11, he wrote, directed, and acted in his first play. If you have any question, okay, then you can raise in your hands, okay? I will continue the class. So if you have any question regarding the class, we have understood, just I am repeating the things okay, of what we have watched in that video clip earlier. So at the age of 11, Tendulkar wrote, directed, and acted in his first play. At age 14, he participated in 1942 Indian freedom movement, leaving his studies, and the later alienated from his family and friends. Writing then became his outlet, though most of his early writings were of a personal nature and not intended for publication. During this period, he participated in activities of Navajivan Sanghatana, a splinter communist group. So after 1942, he involved in a political group that name was Navajivan Sanghatana. And he said that he liked sense of sacrifice and discipline for the communist. Tendulkar began his writer as a journalist, especially for the newspaper, and he had already written a play, Who is Going to Love Me, the name of the play. But he wrote the play, Ghasta, uh, the householder, in his early 20s. He later didn't receive much recognition from the audience, and he vowed never to write again. After writing this play at the age of 20s, he vowed that he will not write. But breaking the vow, in 1956, he wrote Srimant, which established him as a good writer. Srimant jolted the conservative audience of the time with its radical storyline, wherein an unmarried young woman decide to keep her unborn child, while her rich father tries to buy her a husband in an attempt to save his social prestige. Tendulkar's early struggle for survival and living for some time in tenements in Mumbai provided him first-hand experience about the life of urban lower middle class. So at the time he had been living in Mumbai, and uh, Vijoy Tendulkar learned the lifestyle of the lower middle class people. He thus brought new authenticity to their depiction of Marathi theater. After getting acquaintance to the real life of the lower middle class people of the society, Vijay Tendulkar changed the uh, theater activities or the approach of theater that was happening in Marathi Maharashtra. And Tendulkar's writing rapidly changed the storyline of modern Marathi theater. And in 1950s and in 60s, with experimental presentation by theater group like Rangayan. Actors in this theater group like Siram Logo, Mohan Angsley, and Sulabha Deshpande brought new authenticity and power to Tendulkar's stories, while introducing new sensibilities in Marathi theater. And Tendulkar wrote the play The Vultures in 1961, but it was not produced until 1970. The play was set in a morally collapsed family structure and explored the theme of violence. In his following creation, Tendulkar explored violence in its various forms. That means domestic violence, sexual violence, communal and political violence. So after writing this play that was published in 1970, Vijay Tendulkar, tried to expose the several kinds of violence of human life, that is family violence, political violence, domestic violence, sexual violence, etc. Thus, Gidave proved to be a turning point in Tendulkar's writing with regard to establishment of his own unique writing style. based on a 1956 short story, Dil Pane. That means the Bengali meaning is tramp, by Frederick Durement. Tendulkar wrote the play Santata Court Chalu Ahe. That means the silence, the court is in session. The drama we are going to read in the successive classes, that is, this is based on a French playwright. His name is Frederick Durement, and the name of the drama was Dai Pani. That means the trap, English meaning of this drama. So this drama, Silence, the Court is in Session, is based on a drama written by a French playwright, Frederick Durament. It was presented on the stage for the first time in 1967 and proved as one of his finest works. Satyadev Dubey presented it in movie form in 1971 with Tendulkar's collaboration as the screenplay writer. When Satyadev Dubey made film based on this drama, Vijoy Tendulkar wrote the screenplay of the movie. In 1972 play, Shakaram Builder, that means Shakaram the Binder, Tendulkar dealt with the topic of domination of the male gender over the female. It is one of the prominent theme of Vijoy Tendulkar's writing, that is the male domination over the female counterpart of the society. And this is not only in the play we are going to study, it is also a theme of other plays written by Vijoy Tendulkar. The main character of Shakaram আফরোজ স্ক্রিন দেখা যাচ্ছে না?
না স্যার, স্ক্রিন দেখা যাচ্ছে না।
So why didn't you tell me earlier?
স্যার হানজালা মেসেজ দিয়েছিল, চ্যাটে দিয়েছিল।
এটা তো চ্যাটে দেখলাম আমি। কোনো এই পর্যন্ত কোনো স্ক্রিনই দেখতে পারো নাই?
না স্যার, যে আপনি এতক্ষণ লেকচার দিচ্ছেন, স্ক্রিনটা দেখা যাচ্ছে না। মানে আপনি দেখছি অনেকক্ষণ ধরে স্ক্রিন শেয়ার দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করছেন, কিন্তু মানে আসছে না স্ক্রিনটা।
Oh my god. Now can you see?
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
Okay. আগের স্লাইড গুলো আমি স্লাইড গুলো পাঠিয়ে দেব নি তোমাদের, ঠিক আছে?
ওকে স্যার।
ওকে স্যার।
ওকে, স্লাইড গুলো পাঠিয়ে দেব নি। আমরা যা বলছিলাম যে the play, that means the Shantata, the court Chalu Hai, is based on a French drama named Diapine, the Trap. And then here we had been talking about the character of Shakaram. He's a man devoid of ethics and morality and professes not to believe in outdated social codes and conventional marriage. So in this play, we see there is no exception, and also we see the domination of the male counterpart of a society over the female. It is also one of the theme of Shakaram Binder. He accordingly used the society for his own pleasure. He regularly gives shelter to abandoned wives and uses them for his sexual gratification while remaining oblivious to the emotional and the moral complication of his exploits. He justifies all his acts through claim of modern unconventional thinking and comes up with the hollow argument meant in fact to enslave women. So in Shakaram Blinder, we see the violent control over the female counterpart of the society, but it is shown in such a way just to help the abandoned women of the society. However, the main character satisfied his physical pleasure with the abandoned women. In 1972, Tendulkar wrote another, even much more acclaimed play, Ghashiram Kotwal, Officer Ghashiram, which dealt with the political violence. So in one play that I dealt about, she wrote about the domestic violence. Then this play is about the political violence. And the title of this play, Ghashiram Kotwal. The play is a political satire created as a musical drama set in 18th century Pune. It combined traditional Marathi folk music and drama with contemporary theater techniques, creating a new paradigm for Marathi theater. And as we have seen in the previous video clip, that means Vijoy Tendulkar played a vital role for reshaping the paradigm of Marathi theater. So he did it by writing this drama, Ghashiram Kotwal. The play demonstrates Tendulkar's deep study of group psychology, and it brought him a Jawaharlal Nehru Fellowship 1974-75 for a project titled An Inquiry into the Pattern of Growing Violence in Society and its Relevance to Contemporary Theater. Okay. So after writing this play, he got the opportunity to work on a project based on the violence happening in Indian society. With over 6,000 performances thus far in its original and translated version, Ghashiram Kotwal remains one of the longest running plays in the history of Indian theater. So Tendulkar wrote screenplays for the movies, that is Nishant, Akrosh, and Adha Arth Shatta, and that means Half Truth, which established him as an important chronicler of violence of the present. He has written 11 movies in Hindi, 8 movies in Marathi. The later include Samana, that means The Confrontation, 1975, Singhashan, Throne, 1979, and Bartha, that means The Threshold, in 1981. The last one is a groundbreaking feature film on women's activism in India. It was directed by Jabbar Patel and stars Srita Patil and Girish Karan. So he wrote some feature film also. In 1981, Tendulkar wrote a metaphoric play, Suffer, and in 2001, he wrote the play Mashir. He next wrote 2 novels, Kadambari Ek and Kadambari Don, about the sexual fantasies of an aging man. So in 2004, he wrote a single act play, his 5th Women, his first play in the English language. As a sequel to his earlier exploration of the plight of women in Shakaram Builder, this play was first performed at the Vijoy Tendulkar Festival in Newark in October 2004. In the 1990s, 90 decades, Tendulkar wrote an acclaimed TV series, Sawam Siddha, in which his daughter, Priya Tendulkar, noted television actors Rajani Fame, performed in the lead role. His last screenplay was the Ishwar Mine, an adaptation of Dibendu Patil's story, Mukha Bhinoy, and directed by theater director Shamanant Chalan, and with Ashish Vidyarithi and Pawan Malhotra as leads. So he did. And in family, he was the brother of acclaimed cartoonist and humorist Mahesh Tendulkar, and he died in 2007 on a visit to Princeton, New Jersey, and he died on 19 May 2000. 2008, battling the effect of a rare autoimmune disease for mesenteria gravis. Tendulkar's son Raja and wife Nirmala had died in 2001, and his daughter Priya Tendulkar died in the next year, 2002, of a heart attack following a long battle with breast cancer. So this writer died in 2008 for the cause of a disease named autoimmune disease. And political views, society and politics are strongly highlighted in Tendulkar plays. And Tendulkar had a leftist views. And in particular, he was against Hindu social groups, especially against Brahmins. Most of his dramas show Brahmins in a bad light. In his writing career, spanning more than 5 decades, Tendulkar has written 27 full-length plays, 25 one-act plays. Several of his plays have proven to be Marathi theatre classics. His plays have been translated and performed in many Indian languages. By providing insight into the major social event and political upheaval during his adult life, Tendulkar became one of the strongest radical political voices in Maharashtra in recent times. While contemporary writers were cautiously exploring the limits of the social realism, he jumped into the cauldron of political radicalism and courageously exposed political hegemony of the powerful and the hypocrisies in the Indian social mindset. So Vijoy Tendulkar was a strong political voice, and he wrote vehemently about the political hegemony and also the repression by the powerful to the poor or the lower class people of the society. So in the play written by Vijoy Tendulkar, we will see the real picture of life. His powerful expression of human angst has resulted in his simultaneous receiving wide public acclaim and high censure from the orthodox and the political bigwigs. Many of Tendulkar plays derived inspiration from real life incidents and the social upheaval. So we are talking it again and again. That means the Tendulkar plays are based on the social realities. Thus, the rise of Shiv Sena in Maharashtra in 1970s was reflected in Tendulkar's Ghashiram Kotwal. As we have talked it earlier, that means Ghashiram Kotwal is based on a political violence. And so this was based on the uprising of Shiv Sena in Maharashtra. The true story of the journalist who persisted of women from the rural sex industry to reveal police and political involvement in this trade. So, and only to abandon the woman once he had no further need for her is detailed in Tendulkar's Kamala. So this is another another drama written by Tendulkar, that is Kamala. The play was later made into the film Kamala, the real life story of an actress whose acting career got ruined after her same-sex affair became public knowledge, inspired Tendulkar to write Mitra C. Ghosta. So this is Tendulkar. Tendulkar has translated 9 novels, 2 biographies, and 5 plays by other authors into Marathi. Beside the foregoing, Tendulkar's oeuvre includes a biography, 2 novels, 5 anthologies of short stories, 6 plays for children, including Bal Miltat and Patla Chaya Porichoy Lagin, and the 5 volumes of literary essays and social criticism, including Ratrani, Kotoali Unhe, and Puje Samant. So all in all, Tendulkar's writings have contributed to the significant transformation of the modern literary landscape in Marathi and the other Indian languages. So in 2005, a documentary titled Tendulkar Ani Hishme Kal Ani Aj, Tendulkar and Violence Then and Now, with English subtitle, produced by California Arts Association, directed by Atul Pathe, and was uh, released. In 2007, a short film about Tendulkar, Ankahin, directed Santosh Ayachit, was released. So these are the awards he has got. He was also awarded the Padma Bhushan by the government of India. So this is in brief the biography of Vijoy Tendulkar. So he is a leading Indian playwright, movie and television screenwriter, literary critics, and the political journalist. And the main theme of his playwright about the division and the suppression of the female and by the patriarchal society. And however, Vijay Tendulkar talked much against the social realism, the political violence, and the others societal violence happening in the society when Vijay Tendulkar had been writing his plays. Okay, so this is in short the biography of Vijoy Tendulkar. So if you have any question, you can ask me, then we will go to the other screen. Okay, if you have any question.
No, sir.
Okay, just we can have them other so I'm not getting the other slides. Can you see the slide?
Not yet.
Okay, then slideshow, and here, and now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so after getting the biography of Vijoy Talukdar, who you will have a look on the main characters of this drama. That means Silence. The court is in session. So Leela Binari, the central character of this drama, that means the court in the silence. And this woman is an unconventional school teacher. And not only unconventional, he doesn't feel shy to expressing her opinion, a strong opinion about the life and the society around him. That means this Lina Benari is an unconventional woman of the society that we see as the central character of this drama. The court is in session. Unfortunately, the Lina Benali's straightforwardness doesn't like by the other member of the society. And for this reason, the other member of the society see this thing differently. And they harsh comment and more judgmental comment on Lina Benari. So unconventional activities of her society, it has two views. In one view, if it is done by the male counterpart of the society, it is appreciated in such a way, or it is criticized in a different way. But if an unconventional activity is done by a female member of the society, it is harshly criticized by the other members of the society. That we see in the character of Lina Benare. So Bina Benare, a female member of the society. He doesn't care about the conventional rules and regulation of the society. However, such kind of straightforwardness of Lina Benari is vehemently criticized by the other members of the society that we see in this drama. And this Lina Benari is chosen as a trial for infanticide in a mock trial that takes a dark turn towards the serious. Okay, so the drama was in a drama. So all the characters was assembled to perform a drama in a experimental theater hall. However, for the absence of some character, they played a mock trial. And that mock trial, Lina Benale was accused of infanticizing, accused of infanticiding. That means killing of a newborn child. Okay, so this is Lina Benare. Another character, Shukhatme, a major player among the Sonar Moti Tenement Progress Association, that means the name of the theater, and cast as a lawyer in the association's mock trial and the attorney in charge of prosecuting the mock case against Binare, takes advantage of Binare's notable absence from the room. After some times, Binare was absent, but in that time, Shukhat may take advantages. Other members decide who should play the absent teacher. So Shukhat may another member of this, another character of this play who played as the lawyer in the drama. And Samant, two of the regular players in the mock trial have not been, yes?
আমার মনে হয় একজন জয়েন দিতে চাচ্ছে শর্মি
কিন্তু আমি তো নোটিফিকেশন পাচ্ছি না শর্মি 20 হ্যাঁ okay thank you so Saman a local villager often called upon by the association to help with simple caretaking task is asked to fill in an replacement. So Samant played a role of a villagers and he also played a role. However, Samant hypothetically theorizing about what is still viewed in a fictional contrast of Binare's cage, which leads to the realization that fiction and reality are colliding. Okay? So Samant is another character who also spoke negatively about Binare's unconventional activities or unconventional or the activities without social norms. So this collision is exploited to transform the trial into something less of a mock and more an actual persecution. Another character, Balu Rokde, a young man, relates a story true about seeing Benar with one of the two mock participants who happen not to have shown up for this day's performance of the actual mock trial to take place later. It is this incident which is utterly lacking in any context, positive or negative or otherwise, from which someone construct a fictional potential which accidentally proves to hit too close to the mark of reality. So Balu Rotge arranges set a fictional atmosphere. However, such kind of fictional atmosphere very dramatically coincide with the social realities. And Mr. Kashikar is the judge and Mrs. Kashikar is his wife. So Kashikar played the role of a judge. However, the judge will be impartial. But in the trial, we see that means being an impartial judge, he asked many questions to Binair. That means he took side in the male counterpart of the society. And that vehemently asked question against the against Benar, that means the female counterpart of the society. Okay, these are in short the characters of this drama. Okay, the main characters of this, and so This is, can you see the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Today, do you have another class today with Momin sir?
No, sir. আজকে নেই, কালকে নেবেন।
কালকে নেবেন, ওকে। আমরা আর 10 মিনিটস নেই, ওকে?
ওকে স্যার।
ওকে,
Okay,
আমরা
sir.
10 মিনিটস আমরা শেষ করে দিতে পারবো। আমরা আইডিয়াটা জেনে গিয়েছি যে এই ড্রামাটা দ্য সাইলেন্স দ্য কোর্ট ইজ ইন সেশন ইজ অ্যাবাউট দ্য সোশ্যাল রিয়েলিটিস অফ মহারাষ্ট্র, ওকে? আমরা এই নাটকটার ব্রিফ স্টোরিটা আমরা একটু যদি জেনে নিই তাহলে আমরা দেখব যে বিজয় টেন্ডুলকার প্লে সাইলেন্স দ্য কোর্ট ইজ ইন সেশন আ সোশ্যাল স্যাটায়ার অন দ্য মিডল ক্লাস সোসাইটি। The middle class society, as we had been watching in the movie clip, that means the middle class society are very much strict of following the social norms. However, Vijoy Tendulkar satirizes such kind of subservient, এই যে মধ্যবিত্ত সমাজের সামাজিক রীতিনীতি মানার যে একটা দৃঢ় একটা ইচ্ছা, সেই ইচ্ছাটাকেই স্যাটায়ার করেছে হচ্ছে বিজয় টেন্ডুলকার এই ড্রামার মধ্যে। ওয়ান্ডারিং থিয়েটার গ্রুপ surfaces in a quiet village decide to set up a mock trial, and things take a sinister turn when the actors drag the feisty school teacher Lina Benari into court for her sexual affair out of wedlock. So that was a mock trial. However, that mock trial turns to very serious that it explore the extramarital relationship of a female character like named Leela Benare. Okay. So in the climax, Benare delivers a brilliant monologue that exposes the hypocrisy of the male chauvinist. The pronunciation is chauvinist. That means the term can be called that excessive or over prejudiced support for one's own cause. Okay, এটাকে এক্সেসিভ প্যাট্রিয়টিজমকে আমরা শোয়াবিনিজম বলি। ওকে, কেউ যদি নিজের দেশকে অনেক বেশি ভালোবাসে সেটাও শোয়াবিনিজম। বাট শোয়াবিনিজমের অন্য যেটা টার্ম সেটা হলো যে নিজের সম্পর্কে যারা সবচেয়ে বেশি মনে করে যে নিজের কোনো কিছু ভালো হলে সেটা ভালো, সেটাকে আমরা বলি শোয়াবিনিজম। সো দিস Benare delivers a brilliant monologue where he says about the hypocrisy of male domination. That means the human being or the human member, male member of the society, they are very much interested to fulfill their own interest, and in this way they suppress the other part, that means the female counterpart of the society. She narrates her story of suppression and loneliness, and her dilemma of freedom and bondage, and her tale of a love-hate relationship with life. So Benare, at the end of the drama, exposes বিনারেকে বলা হয়, বিনারের একজন জাজ হয়, মিস্টার কাশিকার জাজ হয়, একজন হচ্ছে লয়ার হয়, আবার একজন হচ্ছে দোষী যে কিনা বিনারে, কিন্তু বিনারেকে ডিফেন্ড কেউ করে না। শেষে বিনারেকে বলে যে আপনি আপনার পক্ষে কিছু বলতে চান কিনা। তখন বিনারে একটা মনোলগ একাই দাঁড়িয়ে একটা বক্তৃতা দেয়, যে বক্তৃতার মাধ্যমে বিনারে তুলে ধরে যে হাউ ফিমেল আর সাপ্রেসড বাই the male counterpart of the society, and also they are not free. The female are not free in a society. They are supposed to maintain their family. They're supposed to take care of the children, but they are not totally free to express their own mental suffering. So Binare said that all these are the result of the patriarchal or male-dominated society of the time when Vijoy Tendulkar wrote. Nina Benare's soliloquy of self-defense is an expression of her inner turbulence. So the feeling that Benare felt living in the society, that was expressed vehemently through the monologue that was given in the last stage of this drama. Tendulkar decided to leave the audience in a state of suspense. Does Leela deliver the soliloquy, or does the scene take place in her mind? Okay, so there is, so it is a soliloquy, or thus it is the internal relevation of mental agonies that Lina had for living in a society that was truly dominated and controlled by the male counterpart of the society. During the court proceeding, the judge's cry of silence drowns her protest on several occasions. So, judge also asked Binare to keep silent. That is also indirect command towards the female counterpart of the society. What does the male chauvinist mean? So you will read it and you will understand that male chauvinist. The irony is that the responsibility of her affair with the professor solely belongs to her, and he goes scot-free. So as I had been talking, that means in a society, male are the members and the female are the members. So there should be an equality between the male and female counterpart of the society, because both are equal. But Binare's case, we see that the professor was responsible, but the professor was not punished in any way. The professor goes scot-free. The professor didn't have any punishment. However, Binare became the scapegoat of what? That means the norms and values of the middle class or the lower middle class society. So in a hostile world, Binare fights a losing battle for survival. So fights a losing battle. What does it mean? That means he is fighting for a battle, but in that battle already he is she is defeated. বিনারে এমন একটা সমাজের মধ্যে বাস করছে এবং এমন একটা সমাজের মধ্যে বসবাস করছে যে সমাজে মেয়েরা এমনি থেকেই পরাজিত। তাহলে এই সমাজে পরাজয় বরণ করে নেওয়াই একটা সমাজের বিনারে ফাইট করছে। দ্যাট মিনস অল দ্য মেল কাউন্টারপার্ট অফ দ্য সোসাইটি, দে আর অলসো। আরেকটা চরিত্র দেখানো হয়েছে যে মিসেস কাশিনার এবং বিনারে, if we make the comparison between the two character, one character, Binare is very much expressive, he is very much progressive, she is very much straightforwardness about the rights of the women, about the liking and disliking of the women. On the contrary, Mrs. Kashinar is very much loyal to her husband, Mr. Kashinar. So the female are suppressed by the male counterpart of the society, and for this reason the female character, right, Mrs. Kashinar, they are also responsible. So Binare spoke the unspoken words of the female member of the society. Unable to bear the disgrace, Lina tries to flee the theater. To find it exit locked. যখন অপমান সহ্য করতে পারছে না মিস বেনারে, তখন সে সেই থিয়েটার থেকে পালিয়ে যেতে চেষ্টা করে। কিন্তু যখন সে পালিয়ে যায়, তখন যেতে চায়, তখন দেখে যে তার একটা দরজা বাইরে থেকে বন্ধ করে দেওয়া আছে। That means it is allegorically represent the society. That means if a member, Benare, that means the being a female counterpart, he can't leave the society. She has to stay in the society following the rules and regulation. However, if Binare becomes loyal to the norms of the society, it will be peaceful for her. However, if she doesn't show loyalty towards the social norms, she will be locked by the social norms and criticism. She falls prey to the cruelty of a sexually frustrated moral brigade. Okay, so finally, Binare became the victim of the social norms of the society. The climax of the Tendulkar's play comes with the final judgment that Miss Binare is public enemy number one, and that the child in her home must be destroyed. So what was the punishment of Miss Binare? That was the punishment. That means she has to abort the inborn, that means the baby that was in the womb of Miss Benare. That was the punishment because Benare was violated. Benare violated the social norms. So Benare is thunderstruck at the traumatic consequence of the game, which turns into a planned hunt. Actually, Binare was frustrated to get the punishment. তার একটাই পানিশমেন্ট যে তার এই বাচ্চাটাকে নষ্ট করে দিতে হবে, অ্যাবর্শন করতে হবে। বাট বিনারে সবসময় চেয়েছিল যে তার এই বাচ্চাটাকে সে বাঁচিয়ে রাখবে এবং তাকে তার একটা এবং সবার কাছে সে মিনতি করে। Patriarchy has finally silenced her. Silence, the court is in session, is a play about silencing the women's voice. And this is successfully attained through the code, which itself is one of the strongest of patriarchal institution. So society and code. Society is dominated by the male counterpart of the society, but when some social activities goes to court, যখন কোর্টে যায়, কোর্টে গিয়েও দেখে যে সেটাও একটা male dominated institution of the society. So there is no scope of going for the female members of the society like Miss Lina Benare. So the silence, the court is in session, is allegorically a play of silencing the woman voice of the society. Okay. So this is another thing that is happened in this. The apparently innocent nursery rhymes that ends the play has been much misinterpreted by critics as a ploy to lighten the burden of the extremely gruesome atmosphere of the play. নাটকটা যখন শেষ হয় একটা নার্সারি সং বাজতে থাকে, অনেক ক্রিটিক বলছে যে এটা আসলে নাটকে একটা মজা দেওয়ার জন্য, মেরিমেন্ট তৈরি করার জন্য, কিন্তু আসলে সেটা না। বাট অন দ্য ক্লোজ রিডিং ইট ক্যান ইজিলি বি সিন অ্যাজ অ্যান এলিগোরিক্যাল কমেন্টারিজ অন দ্য গ্রুসাম নেচার অফ দ্য patriarchal society. So the patriarchal, the cruel society can be presented in this nursery song. এই সঙের মধ্যে যে আমরা দেখতে পাবো যে একটা স্পেরো এবং একটা ক্রো, দুটো হচ্ছে পাখি, কিন্তু দ্য মোস্ট diminutive of birds is too weak to resist the onslaughts of a big brother crow. কাকও একটা পাখি, স্প্যারো একটা পাখি, কিন্তু এই স্প্যারো কাকের বিরুদ্ধে যুদ্ধ করতে যায় যে কাক কিনা তার বাচ্চাকে খেয়ে ফেলে, who actually has stolen her nest and who represent a careless nonchalance about the theft. যখন স্পেরো কাককে বলে যে তুমি আমার বাচ্চাকে চুরি করেছো, কাক তখন সেটা উদাসীন্য দেখায় যে না, আমি কিরকম সেরকম কোনো কিছু করি নাই। সো দ্য এন্ড অফ নার্সারি রাইম allegorically represents the position of men and women of our society. It is not something to give merriment to the audience. So this is in short about the theme of. So do you have any question? কোনো কোশ্চেন আছে?
No, sir.
ওকে, বোঝা গিয়েছে? আজমিরা, বোঝা গিয়েছে কিছু? আফরোজ?
জি স্যার, বুঝতে পেরেছি।
ওকে, ইটস এ ভেরি গুড প্লে। আরিফ? আরিফ?
ইয়েস স্যার, বুঝতে পারছি।
বুঝতে পারা গেছে না? এটা একটা কমন একটা থিম নিয়ে খুব সুন্দর একটা, এটার আমি ভালো দেখতে পাচ্ছি না। এর যে ড্রামা ইউটিউবে সেরকম একটা হিন্দি ভার্সন আছে, ইংলিশ ভার্সন আমি একটা খুঁজছি, ঠিক আছে? যদি আমরা পারি নেক্সট ক্লাসে হয়তো একটু দেখবো, কিন্তু সে ভার্সন হলে পুরো ক্লাসটাই নষ্ট হয়ে যাবে। আমরা তোমরা ইউটিউবের যদি কোনো ভার্সন পাও, ঠিক আছে, সেটা আমাকে দিও, আমরা সেটা দেখবো, আর পাশাপাশি নেক্সট ক্লাসে আমরা এটা এই ড্রামাটা শেষ করে দেব। ওকে, বিফোর তোমাদের বুধবারে তো আরেকটা ক্লাস আছে, সেই ক্লাস। ওকে, হানজালা বোঝা গিয়েছে?
জি স্যার।
ওকে, সবিতা?
জি স্যার।
Okay, good. Shormi,
জি স্যার, বুঝতে পেরেছি।
বোঝা গিয়েছে না?
জি
That's
স্যার,
great.
আমি একটু লেট জয়েন করেছি স্যার, কিন্তু তারপরে সামারিটা বুঝতে পেরেছি।
আচ্ছা, সামারিটা বোঝা গিয়েছে এবং থিম কি এটার? থিমটা কি বোঝা গিয়েছে একটু?
জি স্যার, থিমটা হচ্ছে যে মহিলাদের অবস্থান অ্যালিগরিক্যালি সেটাকে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করা হয়েছে, দ্য সাইলেন্স দ্য কোর্ট ইজ ইন সেশন।
ওকে, তার মানে তাকে যে সাইলেন্স করা হচ্ছে এলিগরিক্যালি
এটা
মেয়েদেরকে,
আমাদের মেল ডমিনেটিং সোসাইটিটাকে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করে।
right? Okay, good. Okay, so any question?
নো স্যার।
Okay,
No, sir.
so if you have no question, then thank you once again, and